Hi guys, it's Michele. It's been long since I uploaded anything actually for the reviews, so I'm sorry for that. I was very busy, and even today I am very busy, but I'm gonna rush a bit. So this time I'm gonna do something easy for me, and that's gonna be an IS-7 review. The IS-7, yeah, the famous IS-7 from World of Tanks, actually his playstyle in Armored Warfare is placing him on the Tier 3 premium tank tree, and it's a neutral tech tree, by the way. So that means your IS-7 is gonna be a premium that you could get only on events, special events. Or if you're lucky that the Armored Warfare might be doing a giveaway. For those who don't have IS-7, listen very carefully, this is how you can destroy it. And this is where this thing is very strong. Same as in the World Tanks, the IS-7 frontally has 250mm of armor, which is pure steel. In the hull you have 150mm of steel armor. The sides and rear of the hull are 100mm, and one back of the turret is only 100mm thick, while your sides of the cupola are even 420mm. The only drawback about this composition of the armor is that you're gonna be very fragile against our missile launched weapons like from the BMP, Stingray and other Tier-4 rocket tanks. So be aware of that when you're trying to tank the enemy. If you wanna tank them, use your turret. Don't expose your hull. Your weaknesses are the commander hatch on the top, frontally. If you can shoot below the gun mantlet and get this part, this is where the driver is, or this part, this is another weak spot. And this is the old design of the armor. Actually, this design of the armor is post-World War II. It was used first on IS-3. And this IS-7 is a prototype upgrade for the IS-3. So it has the same characteristics. The pike nose. The pike nose has an advantage if you are facing forward to maximize the angle of the armor and make ricochets more often. Now, if you are trying to get the enemy, you need him to actually side scrape or do something like this. Place his pike nose armor basically flat to you. Now this thing is now 150mm or less. And this is when you can easily penetrate an IS-7 frontally. If the IS-7 is faced like this, okay, you can still have a choice if you can hit this lower plate or the driver. So these are your main weak spots. AFVs and other guys, I totally recommend that you go around this thing because frontally you won't be able to do nothing against it, as well as the lower tanks like the Tier 1 tank. Now, when we basically cover the weaknesses, we can also go with the HP points. 1534 HP points, which is not bad, and the view range is below average, 350, but you can expect that from a Soviet tank, and this is also a premium tank, which has to have some drawbacks. The only way that thing is good is actually, as every premium, it earns a bit more, around 20% more credits. And now let's see the other things. The mobility of this tank is like a rocket. It accelerates pretty bad. From 0 to 32 it's 7.52 seconds, but this is a very huge tank, so that's expected for it. Once it gets the top speed is 61 km per hour, which is pretty fast. So if you're going downhill and wanna keep up your maximum speed, just stay straight on the road, and basically you will get there pretty fast, pretty easily, because the 60 km per hour are almost the same as some light tanks like Scorpion, for example. Anyway, let's check the other stuff. The other stuff are not so good. Hull traverse 28, turret traverse 18 degrees per second. This is expected because this is a very huge tank. Also, the turret, as you can see, is pretty massive, and it has to be to accommodate 130mm gun. Now let's talk about the gun itself. AP penetration 242, which is one of the better in the Tier 3. Damage is 336, which is also good. This thing has good damage and good alpha. But the drawback is this. First, you have reload time, which cuts your damage per minute to 2400 damage. It's 8.39. even with the retrofits and upgrades that I have and this current crew stats. I think I can maximum what I can do actually is to draw this down to 8.10 at best. At best, at very best. In the end, I think that's such a stretch. And now we have also stuff like the aim time of the gun and the deviation and the depression of the gun. Frontally -3 degrees, backwards -2 degrees. Which means if your enemy is below you, you're gonna have a hard time hitting it. So keep that in mind. You have to use the terrain to angle this tank somehow to get the gun on target and stuff like that. Second thing is, even if you are full aim, deviation of 0.22 means that your shots will not go where you aim them. Actually, if you played a lot of rule tanks, you're gonna suffer a similar system over here, because you're gonna fully aim at the target, and the shots might go up above the enemy, below the enemy, and so on and so on. Now let's see, the aim time is almost 4 seconds, which is also a pain in the butt, but you have at least a good pen and a good alpha. You know, every tank has its bad and good things, and this thing has a couple of drawbacks, as you can see. Anyway, for all the retrofits that I'm using intercom systems to buff the stats of the crew, because as you can see I have a very huge crew, and the intercom systems works the best way if you have a large crew. Now here is the reinforced ammo rack as a second stuff, because you don't want to get ammo racked while you're driving this, because ammo racks are pretty easy to find on the Russian tanks. And once you get the ammo racked, you're gonna have 8 seconds more for the reload. That's bad. And if you're unlucky, that the ammo rack will detonate and almost one-shot your tank. Yeah, keep that in mind, guys, when you're drawing IS-7 or fighting against it. Now let's see the crew. The crew stats is like this. I used for my driver smooth ride because I want to be accurate in the move, especially when I'm driving 60 km/h. Second thing that you can use for your driver is a spin twin to make a shock tactic on those nasty light tanks that definitely will try to get around you. And for your gunner, the situation is like this: quick draw, 10% aim, better aim, and what you also can do is do shot from the hip, or even do the twist, depending on your preferences. Shoot from the hip is when your accuracy is largest, but you can also go with the marksman if you like to snipe, but I doubt you're gonna snipe anything with 0.22 deviation. Anyway, the second is definitely what I'm gonna use is do the twist to increase the turret rotation for this tank. And for your loaders, actually is something like this. If you go for the rapid fire, you're not gonna have a full effect of the rapid fire, because these are two loaders and the effect is split. So both loaders have to have rapid fire to maximize it, as you would have it on a tank with a single loader, as you can see over here. Now, I went like this system. One loader has explosive shells to make more damage on modules. The second guy gets rapid fire. Second skills for these two guys definitely is going to be rapid fire and, believe it or not, secure ammunition. Like with this kind of composition on the loaders on IS-7, you can maximize your killing potential and also your defensive potential. And for the commanders, you have two options basically. You can go with Philip if you don't have anything else, but if you have like this, like say Freya or Victor, are the two commanders to use. Freya is good on most Soviet tanks, that's why I used her on the IS-7, but I can also utilize Victor, considering his skills and his stats that will affect the crew in the tank itself. Anyway, I think I talked long enough in the garage. Let's jump into battle so I can show you how this thing is played. Okay, let's see. We are on the map that's basically easy to play with the heavy tanks. You have a couple of options. Even in the tier 4 matchmaking, this tank is competitive. Now the problem is, of course, certain situations against them, but at least you can hold your own in this game kind of matchmaking. The problem is a tier 5 matchmaking for a tier 3. Now the IS-7 itself, it's a good tank. If this guy asks me, I just responded. It's a decent tank. If you play a lot of World Tanks and you have an IS-7 in World Tanks, you can easily play and get used to IS-7 in Armored Warfare. But the problem is that, as I said before, it was an event tank, so people that don't play Armored Warfare don't have the i7. And that's a little problem, I think. So for now, we have a situation where we, like myself, I want to get the i7 in the situation where I can use my turret armor to the maximum. And I'm gonna use an enemy i7 to demonstrate on how not to play an i7 and how to actually play the i7 at the same time. Plus the other guys that are gonna go after me. Yeah, you can see how I'm gonna use terrain on my own advantage. Now, let's see. I'm gonna go to the buildings over here, and luckily I'm gonna have not a lot of encounter. The problem is if you manage to get the enemy on the streets are the big guns like the Jalo S, T64 and stuff like that. Will definitely make you a problem in this kind of situation for your i7. The veterans of the World Tanks will find playing with the tier 3 on the Armored Warfare against tier 4 like if you have a tier 11 on World Tanks, but with lot less RNG than the World Tanks, and that's why I like mostly Armored Warfare PvP, because you're not on the shoot and the pray button a lot of times, plus the RT matchmaking is also good, but let's not talk about that. Let's stay to the target and to the point of Armored Warfare. This time I'm gonna go with the i7, go for the flanking, because no one went this street, but they managed to spot me. Now the enemy is gonna be stupid or smart to counter my flanking maneuver, or are they gonna leave me to flank? No, they're not gonna leave me to flank, and the enemy i7 comes. I'm standing still and I'm aiming at the bottom plate, and I managed to get one shot in. The first shot, which is mostly crucial. If you're gonna try it with the equal tank, the same tank of your own caliber, the first shots are always crucial. And as I said before, that pike nose is a bit problematic, and I'm gonna repair my gun because the damage gun on the i7 against another i7 basically is useless. So I'm going to do my best to get this guy down, but he managed to get one shot into me because I was backing off a bit. I managed to get one shot and another into him. He has damaged ammo rack, as you can see by the signs over there. I basically got a few good shots on him, and now I'm waiting for that pike nose to get straightened out, and that's another shot in, and now he's panicking. He knows that he cannot match my reload. He's also dipping his shots. I'm using my turret to make him bounce over me, and that's an easy kill. But he did done some damage on me. He basically dropped half of my HP points. Now if I manage to get another guy that's good in his tank, and that's gonna be a problem for me. Now the enemy is pretty much pissed off and he's calling me a cheater. I think he should learn how to play his tank before he starts calling others cheaters and stuff. Now the i40 is pretty good tank, and I'm gonna use terrain to lower my gun on his hull and destroy him. Solo OA40. Let's just take out the pattern first. And the OA40 is a good gun, fast tank, bad hull armor. And as you saw there, I used the terrain advantage on that rock to get my gun down on him. Now let's go for the bad stuff about the gun. The very bad deviation on this gun, which also brings it a memories from low tanks and the RNG. Fully aimed shot goes over it and bounces off. Another fully aimed shot, guess what's gonna be? Tracks aimed at, it goes up into the gun and my allies pick up the kill. Guys, I do love Armored Warfare, but this is what I hate about full tanks. RNG, fully aimed shot going to who knows where. Narnia maybe. So I'm gonna talk sometime else in the future where I'm gonna compare Armored Warfare World Tanks, but I need a bit more time for that. And as you can see over here, this game was pretty easy and pretty fast, because my team actually cooperated with each other and managed to get the enemy down with the HP pretty fast. And yeah, at this moment, let's just see the results of the game. You want to know how the i7 is played, you want to know how it's compared to the World Tanks i7, which is a couple of years already in the games. So here you go. It's actually similar, almost the same tank basically. Master Gun as performances, 100k, 110k earned, maximum damage done, second on experience, which is pretty good in a tier 4 gameplay. And all in all, not a bad game, even if I do say so myself. So, this was the i7 review. Hope you guys like it and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Now I have a lot of stuff to do. See ya.